What's going on YouTube? Bombarded here, bringing you another quick guide. I bought an audio splitter for my headset mic and I fixed some recording playback settings on OBS, so hopefully the audio video quality is much improved over my last upload. I've found that meleeing wyverns is only effective if you're on a slayer task and you have at least 90 plus all melee stats, and maging them is a lot less cost efficient, so for the purposes of this guide I'm only going to be covering ranged. In this video I'm going to go over all 4 of the safe spots in the main cave as well as the safe spot in the slayer only section. I'm also going to cover some essential first time tips for those of you who have never been to wyverns before to try and make your trips here as enjoyable and profitable as possible. The minimum requirements you need to start killing wyverns is 72 slayer, 80 plus ranged, although I recommend 85 for faster kills, 40 prayer for protect from range, although I recommend 44 for eagle eye, 55 magic for high alching. Ava's accumulator is not required but is pretty essential for long trips and it's going to save you a huge amount of money. Elemental workshop quest part 1 for the elemental shield, and lots of homework or TV shows, as these are one of the most AFK activities in all of RuneScape. This is what your gear setup and inventory should look like. If you're on a task, bring a Slayer helm imbued instead of a God coif. I would always recommend you bring broad bolts, as they're at most 60 GP each and they hit as hard as adamant. If you can afford God boots, I would recommend you get those, as they give you 4 more ranged bonus than snakeskin boots. They're anywhere between 800k and 1.2 mil, so if you're strapped for cash, snakeskin boots is going to do just fine. There are 4 effective ways of getting to wyverns. One is with the fairy ring code AIQ and running north slightly. If you have a house in Remington, you can use the teleport to house tab and run southeast. Draenor Village teleport from Amulet of Glory is another good option. And lastly, you can teleport to Falador and just run south. It's a good idea to bring more ranging potions the longer you plan on staying. Don't worry too much about the prayer potions, as it's a common drop from the wyverns. If you're running Eagle Eye the whole time, eventually you'll get to a point where you can only use Eagle Eye once you get the prayer potions as a drop, but it helps speed up your kills significantly. Try and keep your range level boosted to at least 2 past your current level. The reason wyverns are so AFKable is because of their extremely high range defense. Most of your hits on them are going to be 0, but you obviously want to minimize the amount of zeros you do, so prayer and potting is really important. If this is your first time at wyverns, turn on protect from range, run into the cave and touch the south wall before you run back outside the cave. This will cause your aggression area to shift into the wyvern cave, meaning you can wait outside the cave safely for 10 minutes while the wyverns become unaggressive towards you. I can't stress how much I wish I would have known this tip before my first trip to wyverns. It's going to make things a lot smoother. To test if you've lost aggression, all you have to do is walk back into the cave after you see somebody kill a wyvern on the door safe spot. I made a simple map in paint highlighting the safe spots and the spawn points. Since they updated the cave with the new Slayer only location, the spots by the doors are a little bit harder to maintain easy transitions from kill to kill. This is because sometimes the wyverns will start wandering around immediately after they spawn, and they won't be able to be lured to a safe spot. If this happens, just leave the cave, log out, log back in, and try to lure it again. After you've waited enough time to lose aggression, go ahead and walk into the cave so you can see all 4 of the safe spots. If there's not an empty spot, just hop worlds until you find one. This process can take up to several minutes during peak hours, but it's definitely worth it. From time to time, you're going to experience people attempting to take your spot away from you because they're too lazy to find an empty world of their own. These people are known as crashers and will oftentimes bring a stack of mind runes with an air staff to cast Wind Rush infinitely on your wyvern until you hop worlds. If you do happen to lose your spot, instead of raging, just ignore it and hop worlds. I promise you're going to save so much time and peace in your life if you ignore the troll instead of rising to the bait. One of the most important life lessons I've learned is that karma is very real and it's a very beautiful thing, even if you can't see it working currently.
But I pity the fool, and I will destroy any man who tries to take what I got.
What's your prediction for the fight then?
Prediction?
Yes, prediction.
Pain.
Lastly, here's a safe spot of the Slayer only cave. I'm just going to watch a random player performing the lure as I don't have a wyvern's task right now. Thank you for watching my guide on wyverns. As always, if you have any constructive criticism or suggestions for future videos, leave a comment below. Thank you.